So this is definitely not the Monday we had planned.
But stay tuned to find out the whole story as to how this went down.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Liz.
And welcome to our channel. Hello gang, so this isn't the video that we're wanting to bring you this week. It was our 3 months Vaniversary video that we were on making, which we were really excited about doing. Filmed quite a bit of that, and we were on moving to another location to film it when a little incident happened.
As you can see behind. So we're gonna tell you exactly what happened. As a foreword, guys, if you're here for dramatic footage, anything like that, you're not gonna get it. There's two reasons for that. First of all, is that any footage that we've got is now with the police because this is a police matter, so they're dealing with it. Second of all, we're not about the drama. Those of you that have been here before know we're not about the drama. Those of you that are new to the channel, we're not one of those clickbaity dramatic videos. What this is going to be is us telling the story of exactly what happened. It's dramatic enough on its own without us needing to fan it up or anything. So yeah, stay tuned to the end to find out the full story. But for now, we'll get into it.
So what I've done to secure it, you obviously know if you follow our channel that we do have a lot of supplies that we carry, tapes, a lot of tapes. I'm a big fan of like special tapes. If I ever see tapes when we're out somewhere, it's like Liz, we've got to buy this, got to buy this. And this was one of the cases. So we've got some waterproof sealing tape, which is probably the best I bought yet. So what I did to strengthen the window is just go around and do a little bit of like, effectively did like, we'll say a lattice work with the tape.
So essentially what happened when this guy threw a rock at the window, the entire thing shattered, but it didn't break. So the entire pane was sort of splintered. It's hard to describe, but hopefully you'll know what I mean. There were sort of these splinters just going everywhere, just everywhere. You could hear the sound of the glass cracking. It was just a matter of time until it fell in. Luckily, it was a decent day. It wasn't raining. There's a lot of good points which we'll get into as to why we're not just looking on this in the negative way that it could be seen. So after a while, after hearing all the glass cracking, the window eventually broke. So once we got to our safe place where we parked up last night, our main aim was basically to secure the window. So as Stevie said, we got out the magic tape. We secured sort of the main cracks, the main splinters. We've also got a piece of plastic sheeting that's doubled over that has protected the hole. It's not raining at the moment, but it is due to rain. We checked the weather forecast, so we knew that we needed to be prepared for that and just to secure our van as best we could. So in order to try and secure the window from the inside, we've found a big piece of plyboard that we've just placed inside the window down behind sort of our kitchen partition, if you like, just to give it that extra bit of security inside. It's awful when you just continue to hear the sound of cracking glass despite everything that we've done on the outside, despite boarding it up on the inside, making ourselves as secure as possible, making the van as secure as possible. There is only so much that we can do, but hopefully we've done enough for now. We've got a new window on order, haven't we?
Yeah, the new window's on order.
Positive.
So as Liz was saying, we always try and look for the positives and everything, and one of them was the fact that when we built the van, we should have definitely had one of these side windows, an opening window. That's what we're basically going to do. We're going to fit an open window. So if you don't, this is probably a good time to subscribe. Yeah, because that video will be coming up very soon. And remember, our 3 month Vaniversary video will be coming up as well. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. Definitely hit the like button.
And don't forget to drop us a comment down below. Let us know if anything like this has ever happened to you. How have you dealt with it? It's one of those things in van life that unfortunately these terrible things can happen, but it's how we deal with them, isn't it? So let us know how you've dealt with your crappy situations. We'd love to hear.
Okay, now for the bit you've all tuned in for, the story of what happened. So we just pulled off the A1 at the Team Valley turning, but we were heading towards Lobley Hill. Anybody who knows that, it's quite a big roundabout. So we're driving around the roundabout, and there was a group of lads came round beside us and in front of us as I was coming around the roundabout. One was right beside the van, and then there was a lad started popping a wheelie. Anybody who knows this hill, it's quite a steep hill. So we're in the van. I'd already slowed down quite a bit. I dropped my revs. I had to put it into second. I was driving up behind him in second gear, just about somewhere between first and second. So I bit me horn because he was getting really close to the van. Maybe he hadn't noticed, so I was just letting him know, you know. And like he turned round, give us the like, what was that about type of thing. So I just like ushered him to like, you know, you just need to have a bit of a gap and like hurry up. And the lad beside us started, I don't really know what was going on because I was looking forwards, but I could see the lad beside us. When I glanced over, he was also doing some type of gesticulation with his hands. We'll say. I carried on up the hill basically because I'm climbing a hill at the minute, and there's traffic lights at the top. They're all zoom off to where the traffic lights were. As we got up, we passed them at the traffic lights.
What I will just add is that there were about 5 or 6 of them, and they were on e-bikes, some kind of motorised vehicle that isn't meant to be on the road. It's a hot day, they're in their balaclavas, their ski mask, hoods up, the lot of it. Looking back now, it's quite clear to see that, and from what we've heard from the police as well, that they were out that day. They'd already been causing trouble, and they were looking for more trouble. We are in a 3.5 ton vehicle. We're going up a hill. Stevie is doing his best to kind of keep us going up the hill. We're ushering them on. Looking back, as I say now, they were waiting for someone to engage in any kind of way, because that gave them the excuse. Once we got to the traffic lights, that's when they sort of looked like they were going to turn off to the right, waited for us to get in front of them, and then basically began following us. And no word of a lie, they were hunting us down. So they were chasing after us. We were trying to get away. I'm filming on my phone, not for any social media point of view. There is no time for that. We're not this channel. We are not interested in that. Just for our safety, and because it's at this point we're starting to realise that perhaps the police are needing to get involved. So I'm filming them on my camera. They continue to chase us. They're getting up to the van. What they're then doing, I'm looking out the back porthole window, is that they're stopping. It's easy to look back now and realise what they were doing, but at the time they were stopping, they were sort of dropping, and then they were starting off and tearing up towards us. What I realise now that they were doing is they were grabbing rock stones from the side of the road and throwing them at the van. After it all finished, we realised that they've been trying to smash our porthole window, but it's bulletproof glass and they weren't able to. So in all likelihood, they were getting more and more beat off because they couldn't smash it, and by that point all they wanted to do was just break a window. To his absolute credit, Stevie was driving our vehicle like we were in some kind of getaway chase, which, again, not to be dramatic, that's basically what we were doing, because these guys were hunting us down, and were all out to damage. They were getting up to the side of the vehicle, they were being threatening, they were throwing anything that they could find, and eventually they got to the side window through a rock. It was big enough and he was close enough that it, as we have already explained, it shattered the window. It was pretty terrifying at the time, I'm not going to lie. I was also on the phone to the police, who were trying to ask me where our location was. Now bear in mind that Stevie knows the area, I don't, so we're constantly moving, so we couldn't give them a solid location. Plus I'm trying to ask Stevie where we are, he's trying to concentrate on, trying to outrun these beep. And it was all just quite hectic. It was a busy time of day. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you've got people picking their kids up from school, people finishing work. There was a lot of traffic around, and Stevie did a phenomenal job, because at the end of the day, anyone that's seen it, our van is weaving in and out of traffic, not in a dangerous way, but at the same time we're trying to get away from these guys. There's information that we've given to the police that, again, we can't really share, but it was a dangerous situation. But to my husband's credit, there is absolutely no way that those absolute idiots were expecting not only a 3.5 ton van, but this man to do the driving that he did to get away. They proper had to work to damage the van. They were really, really angry that they couldn't achieve the damage that they wanted to do in the first instance. They really had to work to damage our van. So again, as we've said, we will look for the positives. They were always going to damage the van because they were out there looking for trouble. The police confirmed it. But I'm glad that they had to work for it, because if our van was going to get damaged anyway, at least it wasn't easy. After they'd smashed the window, they disappeared. Clearly that was all they wanted to do. Stevie was then able to sort of drive us to somewhere safe where we could park up, called the police again. So once we'd found a safe place to pull up, I was back on the phone to the police, because I was then able to give them a stable location. And to their absolute credit, they were with us within about 10 minutes. They had their blues and twos on. The 2 policemen that turned up couldn't have been more helpful. I got some screenshots, a couple of decent ones from the video footage that I'd taken on my phone. There were about 4 or 5 images that I uploaded to the police link that was sent. We've got a crime number. So that is, as I say, as we said at the beginning, if you've come here for any of the dramatic footage, you're not going to get it. It's not because it doesn't exist, it's because this is now a genuine crime situation that the police are dealing with. So that information is now being looked at by the police to see if they can identify any of these guys. In all honesty, Stevie, do we think that they're going to be caught for this?
No,
we're not sure. But what we do think is that idiots like that, they will get their comeuppance someday, somehow. It may not be from this, but it will be from something else. And as we've said, we're not a channel to harp on about all the dramatic and negative things that can happen. This is dramatic and it is negative, but we're just giving you the reality. This is our reality, unfortunately. And it was bad enough yesterday, wasn't it, darling? It was bad enough yesterday.
The next jobs for me is basically we've got to replace this window, which we've already said I'm going to do with a sliding window or some type of opening window, which I think it will be crazy knowing what we know now to go back to a non-opening window. We've also got a rear light to replace, which that's going to get done. That'll take us all of about 10 minutes. But while I'm in there, because I've got a reverse camera already halfway through being wired up, I'm going to finish off wiring off, because obviously I've got to take the backlight out, blah de blah de blah. There'll be a few modifications in the next video, I think. And on that note,
as we've said from the beginning, guys, we are not a channel that bigs up any drama. Drama happens, negative things happen, but that's part of life. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Living in a van, it's not all the Instagram amazing shots, it's not the waterfalls, it's not the rainbows, it's some of it is real shit. But that's life, and we have
and not
to
made up shit as well.
No, and we have to get on with it. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've liked it, hit that like button. If you want to leave us a comment because you've experienced this, or you've just got something to say to us, then drop a comment down below. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. As we said, our next video is going to be fitting the new window and the brake light. But what we're actually going to be doing is our 3-month Vaniversary, because it has been that long since we've been living in the van full time. It's been amazing. It's been highs, it's been lows, it's been everything in between. But we're going to give you a proper rundown on that. So if you want to stay tuned for that, don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. But for this week, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye now.